Hey, Mike.
Yeah, what's going on?
Hey, have you heard of the How I Died, a fictional podcast?
No, I have not. Why don't you tell me about it?
Yeah, let me tell you about it. It's a fictional podcast with a full cast of voice actors and high-quality production value. It's essentially like listening to an old-time radio program that you would listen to back in the 50s or 60s, sitting around your radio in family time. It's all scripted. It's a series that follows John Spacer, a forensic pathologist who solves murders by speaking to the dead. No one knows about John's gift, and he has to hide it from his boss. The series takes place in the mysterious town of Springfield, the death capital of the U.S. The first episode follows John on his first day of his new job, unsure of how to handle the case of a mother's death during a kidnapping. 2 seasons are out now, with the first season uncovering the mystery of a potential serial killer. The show has passed over 1 million downloads since launch, with a vibrant community all trying to solve mysteries along with the show.
Sounds cool.
It is really pretty cool. You can find them online by going to audiohmmedia.com. Again, that's audiohmmedia.com, or you can take a look at them at any of your standard podcast services. It's How I Died, the podcast. Mike,
What?
have you heard of One Day University?
No, what is that?
Well, let me tell you about them. Remember that college where that one professor who was so popular students would line up to get a spot before they graduated? Well, now One Day University brings over 200 plus of the top-rated professors online to present incredible live stream talks based on their most popular courses.
Wow, that's kind of like TED Talks for college students.
Think of professors selected from schools across the country, including Yale, Stanford, Harvard, UCLA, Duke, Michigan, Columbia, and many more. Every week, One Day University offers a new 1-hour live stream talk followed by a live question and answer from the professor. Members also get access to a library of over 500 past recorded talks, all available on demand. You can learn something new every day about history, politics, arts, science, music, psychology, and much more. No homework or test, just the joy of learning new things from incredible professors.
Yeah, this is right up my alley.
I know, it is exciting. Memberships are just $8.95 a month or $89 a year, but you can try 2 weeks for free.
Dun dun dun. That's cool.
Plus, if you use code TechTime Radio and sign up for an annual plan, you'll get your first year for half price. That's right, 50% off deal. You gotta grab this now.
It's only $8.95 a month or $89 per year and includes unlimited access.
Do you want to try out 2 weeks for free? Learn more and start your 2-week free trial at onedayu.com/techtime. Learn more and start your 2-week free trial today. Just visit www.onedayu.com/techtime, or you can use that promo code TechTime Radio for half off your annual membership plan. Hurry now. Don't let this great TechTime Radio deal pass you by. Hey, Mike.
Yeah, what's going on?
Hey, have you ever heard of Unidragon.com?
Have I ever heard of Unidragon.com?
Yes, Unidragon.com.
Why, yes, I have heard of Unidragon.com. That's the puzzle dude.
The puzzle dude, that's correct. He has tons of puzzles, and of course, he is the best and original wooden puzzles.
You have owls.
Guess what is the #1 best-selling puzzle?
The owl.
Do you think you had anything to do with that?
No, everybody loves owls.
Well, right now, you can get 40% off in stock if you go to unidragon.com/products/enchanting owl. You need to make sure you get yours today. Now, they also have 2 to 6 days for shipping. You can domestically ship within the United States. They have a great customer support if you ever have any questions regarding your puzzle, except for how to put it together. You can email them at care@unidragon.com. If you want to get 10% off, you can use our code DRAGONTECH. Again, that's Dragon, DRAGON, Tech, TECH, for a 10% off discounts. Now, if you want the original, go to unidragon.com. Beware of fakes. Only get your wooden puzzles at unidragon.com.
Get them all.
Coming to you from the shores of the Pacific Northwest. Keeping you up to date on technology while enjoying a little whiskey on the side. With leading-edge topics, along with special guests, to navigate technology in a segmented, stylized radio program. The information that will make you go, Pull up a seat, raise a glass with our hosts as we spend the next hour talking about technology for the common person. Welcome to Tech Time Radio with Nathan Mumm.
Welcome to Tech Time Radio with Nathan Mumm, the show that makes you go, Technology news of the week. The show for
Pecan.
Pecan. the show for everyday common person with insightful segments on subjects weeks ahead of the mainstream media. I'm Nathan Mumm, and welcome to our show. We are live streaming it today. Of course, you can go to Twitch TV /TechTime Radio. You can go to YouTube /TechTime Radio. You can go to Twitter /TechTime Radio. Facebook.com /TechTime Radio until they hear our Facebook article later on the show, and then maybe it won't be there any longer. But we are always on Saturdays from 4 to 6 p.m. live here in the Pacific Northwest at our home station, KKNW 1150. We got Mike Gorday here. David Brown is behind the board, and I'm your host, Nathan Mumm. Today's show, we're going to have some call-in segments. So right now, if you have the ability, you're driving around, make sure you pull over to the road. Don't try to drive with your knees and talk on the phone at the same time. But you can join us at 425-373-5527, or you can call the 188 number at 188-298-KKNW. Again, that's 888-298-KKNW or 5569. This is the show with information that will make you go 2 hours. So if you're catching us on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, not 4 to 6 p.m., and on Sunday, guess what? You're catching a rebroadcast of the show, which means that you will need to go to techtimeradio.com to get all of the latest and greatest information. And again, techtimeradio.com, great website. There's newsletter information. You can sign up for our newsletter. You can click over in the top to be a caller. Right now, we do have some callers, and we appreciate the callers that have called in to remain on the line. If you are wanting to come on in and the line are busy, David will answer them as soon as possible. So just keep on calling, and he'll pick up the line itself. We are a 2-hour technology show. Without having to geek out, we cover the top technology.
David.
That's right.
Hooked on Phonics worked for you, didn't it?
That's right. There you go. All right.
Where's the button?
All right. Okay. Let's officially start the show.
Yes, let's start the show. That's on the same thing with my Hooked on Phonics is, isn't it?
Yeah.
God.
Hooked on Phonics worked for you, didn't it, Dave?
Yes, it did. I got to
Now on today's show.
There we go. On today's show, we are going to be talking about our letter segment where we look at the latest phishing attempts, email scams, and fraud sent to the host. Then we're planning to open the phone lines. We have people already ready to ask the experts. Mike Gorday and myself are going to be the experts to answer these questions. And then we have a great deal we're going to be talking about for all the Jedis in your family. Are you a Jedi fan?
I am a Jedi fan.
Would you consider yourself a Jedi?
Well, that's in my mind.
Yeah, in your mind.
Sure. Why
okay,
not?
all right. Well, we have a special item that's on sale. It's going to be our steal of the week. We're going to be talking about an item for Jedi that everybody should jump on now because Luke, you are my father. All right, and
dude,
then we're
horrible.
Dude, if you're going to quote that right, got to quote it right. Luke, I am your father.
No, he never.
Look at that.
No,
he doesn't say that?
No.
What? He doesn't say I'm your father?
He says, never mind.
What does he say?
Do you remember? I just think of the Strange Bruin.
Oh, you say that's the Strange
Luke, I'm your father. Come to the dark side, you knob.
All right. Okay. Well, I'm your host. We got Mike Gorday here. We are going to start, of course, as we do each of our shows, with our loaded question of the day, brought to you by Elderberry Boost. Get your Elderberry Boost today at elderberry-boost.com. All right, here's our question.
Elderberry Boost.
Mr. Gorday, David Brown, what is your favorite sandwich?
Oh.
Favorite sandwich?
Favorite sandwich? Reuben or hot pastrami.
Oh, a hot pastrami. Why do you like a hot pastrami?
I like
You like
pastrami.
You like the cheese all melted on
Yeah.
that? Swiss cheese?
Yeah. Swiss cheese, cheddar cheese,
Any cheese?
any cheese,
Okay. All right. Okay.
pepper jack.
Pepper jack. David, we're going to go to you. What's your favorite sandwich?
Probably either a turkey or a turkey ham combination.
Oh.
Basically, because you can either have it plain or you can add veggies. It doesn't matter. It depends on the mood I'm in.
Now, do you put mayonnaise on it or do you put Miracle Whip?
It's mayonnaise.
Mayonnaise, because it used to be Miracle Whip was like the hot thing back in the 80s.
Nope, bye-bye Miracle Whip. It's regular mayonnaise.
It's regular mayonnaise. Okay. So you got to do the mayonnaise. I got you.
Is it like Palanderol fruit?
Well, and I would say
Would you please pass the jelly?
my favorite sandwich is a tuna melt.
Gross.
No. Let me just tell you, when I worked at Microsoft for my
I know.
10 plus,
I know this story.
every day
you would go get a
tuna melt and French fries.
You like the tuna water?
Yeah, well, I'll just tell you, it was like $3.25.
That's like cheap.
It was the cheapest sandwich on their deal, so I could get it for $3.25.
Tuna soup.
That's right. No, I don't like tuna soup. No, all right, okay, all right. Well, let's now move and get our second hour started. As we always do, we like to start our episode with informative emails that I received during the week. This includes scammed, phishing emails, and all-out mistruths disguised as legitimate emails in a segment we call Letters.
Letters, we get letters. We get back and back of letters. Oh, letters, we get letters. And the letters all have songs.
All right, letters. I am up first, and then Mike Gorday reads one, and then we keep on bannering as we go through email scams. Now, I received this from Nicole Banyan at Ford UBAIG_16jobs.com. So that sounds like a legitimate job offer, doesn't that? No. Okay. I have Dubois job opportunity for Nathan Mumm.
Oh, yeah.
Dear Nathan Mumm, we found your profile on LinkedIn and noticed you have work experience relevant to the Chief Information Officer job role, so we think you should be interested in this role. There are more than 20 plus employers who are currently hiring for candidates for 49 plus job vacancies similar to your experience. To get the valuable skills and work experience, we need you to fill out an online profile for $49 to ensure that we correctly route your LinkedIn resume.
Listen to that.
Please click on here. It says, please click on here to continue process.
So they want you to pay $49 to put your profile to these Dubai companies.
Yes, that I am currently, there's 49 plus vacancies. For a chief information officer in Dubai. If you have 49 vacancies, then you got a lot of businesses running without an IT person.
I know.
So that's not bode well for Dubai's infrastructure.
If you're paying people to give you a job interview, that's pretty bad.
Yeah. So let me tell you one thing. If you are applying for jobs in any way, you should never ever have to pay for a recruiter, to pay for anybody to come in and help you updo your resume. Now, you may pay for someone to edit a resume.
Yeah, maybe edit, but no.
If you're there are coaches. I know you cringe at that word.
Everybody's a coach nowadays.
Right? I know.
Yeah.
They offer a service, right? So there are services where they can help you develop a resume, things like that. So
and that's very valid and useful.
That is valid, right? But if you're paying a job board to find you jobs, not
kosher. Do not be clicking on that link.
That's
so
right.
when I clicked on the link, so this is what they did. They wanted my credit card number, right? And so I put in a fake credit card number, and it actually went through to click on next. So it didn't even have the real verification.
It didn't have the verification?
No. So I put in a fake credit card number. I clicked next to go on in, and then they had 500 questions. So let me just tell you, if I'm paying you like $49 American money, and then I got to fill out 500 questions.
Well, that's legit, isn't it?
Why would I pay $49 to you?
They need to find out who you are.
No. So I started answering, and they were pretty realistic questions. So literally, if you put it in there.
What's your greatest weakness?
Yes, and all the things. If you had a disgruntled employee, how would you handle it? And they had 4 areas, and then they have the one where you could type in your own type of deal. And I just wanted to hit all the type in and put in some stuff in there. But by the second question, I'm like, listen, I'm not filling out 500 questions on my fake credit card number that I put in here to continue. So there we go. That was my
guess
fake
what?
one. Yes.
You're not getting that job.
I'm not going to Dubai either. Yeah. So there you go. You're up next. Do you have something interesting there that was sent to me?
Are you going to Dubai or Dubai?
Dubai.
Dubai?
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 But how's it pronounced?
Saying it that way?
Dubai?
Dubai?
Dubai.
No, there's no W there.
There's no W?
Dubai.
Isn't that how the B's pronounced?
Dubois.
Dubois?
I don't know.
Okay.
Click-on phonics worked for you, didn't it?
Okay.
There it is.
There we go. All right. You have the next email letters.
Okay, this is from Kaveri at analyticsinsight.net, and this is long. This has got like 3 or 4 emails on it, so I'm just going to read some of it.
Okay.
So the subject is regarding Nathan Mumm
Okay.
has been chosen to feature in the 10 most innovative CIOs to follow in 2021. So
Wow.
you got a high honor there.
I won an award.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, dear Nathan,
Yeah.
just checking to know whether you got a chance to review my previous email with the proposal.
Yeah, and I looked through no other emails.
Please confirm if we can finalize the deal at a huge discounted offer of $500 as we are soon reaching the publishing date. Your
Well, hang on.
response
Whoa.
is appropriate. So,
What?
yeah.
So they want me to pay some money?
Yeah, sounds like it. So let me read a little bit more.
Okay.
Dear Nathan, I have a piece of good news.
Okay.
My editorial team has suggested me to offer you the leadership profile, quote unquote, feature
Yeah.
in the 10 most innovative CIOs to follow in 2021 for $500 instead of the standard $1,000 as we are working on a tight deadline.
Oh, so I got a discount.
Yeah.
I got a discount to buy an award? Is that what it kind of is?
Well, yeah, you have to buy this award so you can get the job that you pay for on that other place.
Oh, okay.
So if I get this award,
so I pay $500 to become the CIO of the year. Is that the CIO of the year?
the most innovative the 10 most innovative CIOs to watch for in 2021.
So what if I only get 10 and they have like 9 people ahead of me? That's because I only paid the $500 discount.
That's right.
Okay.
But you only got 2 months to do this, so you only get to be the 10 most innovative for 2 months. So I don't know.
Do that.
You know what? I would just go down to Tom's Trophy Shop and buy yourself something because
a trophy that says CIO of the year,
Yeah,
or world's best boss. I can put that on my my desk.
That's world's best boss. There you go. Watch The Office and learn how to do that properly.
There you go.
So don't fall for that. That's pandering to your ego and trying to get money out of you that way,
So
which is actually an pretty easy way to do things. I'm sure a lot of people. So there's probably
like 500.
There's probably
top 10
100
CIOs.
top 10 CIOs that have fallen for this already.
All right, here we go. I got a thing here from 1Password. Now, 1Password is a legit password manager to keep track of my password. But 1Password, out of the clear blue, sent me an email. Says, please confirm your email address. Enter this code on 1Password to verify your page. Password to verify page to continue sign up. So it sent me a code in email. Now, when I took a look at it, I'm like, well, 1Password, I actually use LastPass. So why would I have signed up for 1Password? I must have done this in my sleep because it was at 5:37 a.m. that this came in. Mm-hmm. So I must have been up signing up for this at 5 a.m. in the morning. And this was the automated.
Oh, I do that every night.
Okay.
I just randomly sign up for stuff.
And it's 1Password. It's lpassword.com.
Elderberry booth.
So essentially the 1 is an L, but if you don't look at it close enough, when you look in the email signature, it actually almost looks like 1Password, which is their deal because they actually use, instead of the number 1, they use the L key.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I did not click on the link. I did not sign up for 1Password, but be careful if you receive something that has maybe just one letter off, because if you click on it, you could be a victim. All right.
Yeah.
You have one more there?
I do.
All right. This one looks exciting here.
This is exciting.
Okay.
So this is from Eagle Cash Loans.
Have you ever heard of Eagle Cash Loans?
Never heard of them.
Okay.
But here's the email address if you want to verify that. So
Okay.
you would think it would be so-and-so at eaglecashloans.com.
Yeah.
It is capital I, capital N, capital U, little g, little a, capital U, capital I, at disturbin.be.
Oh, really? So why wouldn't they be called the Disturbin loans then?
I don't know.
Okay.
Inuga Yui at disturbin.be.
Oh, that seems legit.
So
Are they going to help me out?
the subject is we got you covered. It says Eagle Cash Loans, and then there's a picture of a jack-o'-lantern that's crying.
A jack-o'-lantern that's crying.
A crying jack-o'-lantern.
And that's all that is in
And
the
that's
email.
all that yeah.
So no happy Halloween or anything?
Nothing.
No happy Halloween. And do you know what was really bad about it? Is I tried to click on anywhere on that thing. There's no link to click on anything either.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
so you try to click on the picture, nothing happens. You try to so if I had to connect to Eagle Cash Loans, I would have had to have actually
get. Oh, there. You know what?
There's a get started now that was way down on the page. Did
Oh,
you not see that?
I probably didn't scroll all the way down. They should have put it up higher because I only looked at the first page. So I guess if I would have scrolled through to the back page, maybe I could have clicked on something.
I'm thinking they're just trick or treating you.
Okay, that's it is, trick or treat. All right. You know what? We have lots more to do. We're going to post some of these now on our website. So if you go to techtimeradio.com, you can start looking underneath our blog posts. I'm going to take some random articles that we don't use. I'm going to put them up there and actually go through and explain why you should be paying attention to these articles, especially like the 1Password, where the letter L is essentially the 1 to make sure that you don't get compromised. So go check out techtimeradio.com.
Yeah, it's almost always scrutinizing the email that it's sent from.
Correct. That is it. That is the height for that. Now, before we end this segment, though, and we go to a commercial break, I got a steal of the week that I want to play. So think of right now having...
Why we have a steal of the week in the middle of our letter segment?
Well, because we had our production meeting, and we talked about this before the air, right? So if you are, 35 and older, you love letters. That's what we've found out in our survey polls from everything that we have here. 35 and above, you love letters. If you're 21 to that 30...
If you're 35 and younger.
35 and younger.
Let's do it that way.
Okay, 35 and younger, you don't really like letters, and you want steals and deals every week. That's what you want. That's what we found out in our surveys. So we're going to pander to both sides of our demographic.
Very good
here.
word use.
Yeah, you like that?
Yeah, you're just copying me.
I am. All right, so here's what we're going to do. We have a special... So cue Star Wars music. So you were talking about Star Wars. Are you got some Star Wars music? Do. Okay, here we go.
There we go. That's Superman. That's Superman. What are you doing?
All right, here we go.
Good question.
All right, here we go. Star Wars fans can pretend to defend the galaxy with their laser sword on sale. The Cyberblade Dagger Laser Sword is $106 as of October 22nd at 26% savings.
Is this not a lightsaber?
This is not a Lucasfilm.
Is this like
Disney
Like
license?
the Spock helmet from the 70s with the little twisty light on the
no,
top?
this is considered like if you're into the cosplay stuff or LARPing. Do you know what LARPing is?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so I'm not going to explain LARPing.
It's a shame that I do, but
Okay.
I know what LARPing stands for.
That's live
action role playing.
That means that you go out in the middle of a field with a bunch of friends.
There's some really funny movies about that. I can't remember.
And you have
names.
a dice in your pocket. And so, like, if me and you are fighting, I come on up with my Star Wars sword here that was the Cyberblade, the dagger sword, and I'd say, I'm attacking you, and then I'd, hit your arm, and then I'd roll out my dice, and I'd throw it, and I'd be like 5, and then you'd roll out your dice, and you'd throw it at 6, and I'll be like, oh, you didn't hit me, Nathan. And I'd be like, oh, no. And then you'd come back to me and say, now I'm going to hit you, Nathan.
Yeah.
And then you roll a dice, and it's a 5, and I only roll a 3, and I'm like, oh, now I can only use my left arm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what those are.
Yeah, I know. I know what they are.
All right, so we got the sale here. At a rate of technology advancing, the legit lightsaber is a knockoff from the Star Wars licensed brand, but is considered the best blade to use for any cosplay dress-up or any items if you actually want to go out and hit the swords of people. So these are full combat swords where you can fight 100, 200 times and have real contact. Now, you can't just whack somebody to take their head off, but if you're having sword fights and you want to have it, this is the sword to get.
This is the polycarbon blade, right, thing? But
that is correct,
yes.
Is
unlicensed.
It is unlicensed.
Unlicensed Cyberblade laser sword.
So it has 11,
pew, pew.
11 light colors. It's detachable battle-ready blade. The hilt is precision-milled, aerospace-grade aluminum, and a CNC machine to create the ergonomic grip that feels comfortable for you to actually swing it. So instead of having all that fake rosary-type stuff that would actually hurt if you're trying...
What are you talking about?
If you see one of the swords from Disneyland, they have all this extra goop that they put on it to make it look better than what the really sword is. You just probably have a straight... So when Obi-Wan and Darth Vader fought in A New Hope, there was nothing really fancy on that blade.
No.
It's just a standard blade. It goes doom. Now all the new ones, you got Rey out there. She's got 5 customizations to the blade. You got Kylo Ren, and his got his funky sideways blade. No, so the traditional blade is what it's done. It has tons of sound effects.
Boy, you really got into this, didn't you?
I did. It runs on 120 mAh batteries that can easily be recharged via the USB port. that is available, so you can keep them in the sword itself. You plug in the USB cable with rechargeable
Do you carry
batteries.
around your computer with a USB and swinging around?
Well, if you're going to one of these real live action live plays, yeah, you probably are.
Extra
That's
long
right.
USB cord. Hey,
All right, the Cyberblade is also designed to withstand hits, and it is the best. It is normally $199. It's sometimes reduced to $145, but right now it's $106. And you can just Google this. I'm not going to give the URL out, but Google Cyberblade Dagger Laser Sword, and you'll be able to go directly to their site.
Dagger Laser Sword.
That's all right. No,
I'm bagging on
Cyberblade Dagger Laser Sword, and get it right now for $106.99. I think two boys are getting that for Christmas.
Okay.
All right, here we go. We're going to take a commercial break.
I'd rather have a dagger and a sword.
Would you? Would you?
Yeah, instead of a dagger sword.
Well, okay. We're going to take a commercial break. We have some callers on the line, so if you would like to join us, you can call 425-373-5527 or 888-298-KKNW. Hopefully we'll get through all the calls as quick as possible when we return, because we are going to have to pay tribute to our sponsors right now. Thank you.
Upper Left Corner is a PNW true crime podcast now streaming on all major podcast platforms. If you get excited when your favorite true crime podcast tells a story about a place that you've been to or the town that you live in, then Upper Left Corner podcast is for you. Each week, I tell you a story of a crime that has taken place in the PNW and give you background about the town the crime occurred in. If you like true crime, check out Upper Left Corner podcast, now available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google, and more.
Ace Hardware is a helpful place with prompt, friendly service, knowledge, and the little things that make a big difference.
Service.
Selection.
Advice.
Community involvement.
Competitive prices.
Convenience.
Located near you.
And the things you need, such as
house keys,
lawn and garden,
plumbing,
electrical,
hardware,
grills,
outdoor living supplies,
and even nuts and bolts.
When you visit Ace Hardware, you'll be greeted at the door and given the help you need.
So come visit us at Ace Hardware in Evergreen Way in Everett, Lake Stevens, and now Stanley.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
All right, welcome back to Tech Time Radio. I'm your host, Nathan Mumm. We got Micro Day here, David Brown behind the board. This is the technology show that makes you go, technology news of the week. We just got through our letter segment. We also talked about our steal of the week, which is our imitation lightsaber.
Laser dagger sword.
That's right. And now we are going to move into our next segment as we have some callers that are on the air, and we're going to call this our Ask the Expert segment.
This is a segment we call Ask the Experts.
That's like deja vu.
That's right. Well, I said it. Well, that's, you know what, we got open phone calls, so you know what, we're experts here. So you better be on your game. This is the bad part about doing live calls is if you don't know what to do, if you don't know the answer, you're gonna be like, I'll get back to you. That's what you say.
I don't know is a perfectly reasonable way to answer things.
Okay, I like that. Okay, here we go.
No,
David, you have somebody?
Yes, the first person on the line here is Kari or Carrie. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing the name. And her subject is about job opportunities. That's the subject of her question. Carrie or Kari, sorry. Go right ahead.
Hey, my name is Carrie. I was just wondering if you guys had any suggestions in regards to jobs and technology, if there was a place that you would suggest to go to look for jobs or career opportunities.
So she was probably listening in the first hour.
Maybe.
All right, so career opportunities for, well, it is Carrie.
I was just going to say get a job, but it sounds like she already wants one.
So I would say the best places to find a job that I've been at is probably Indeed. Have you used Indeed before?
Yes, we talk about Indeed quite a bit. I prefer not using the superpower ones like Indeed and Monster because there's too much spam involved.
Okay, so you don't like Monster either?
No, not a big fan.
Okay,
but regionally we try to direct people to regional job boards.
So in the Pacific Northwest, what would be a regional job board that you would recommend?
The local worksource in your area has a job board that is powered by Monster, so that's a good one.
Okay, so worksource. Okay, and I would say LinkedIn is like the worst place to do it. So LinkedIn has all these job opportunities. I've looked before and I never did it. Do you know where I actually got a great job offer if you were looking for? Was at Craigslist. You know what? At Craigslist.
No, I'm laughing because it's true. There's some people tell me they get pretty good jobs off of Craigslist all the time.
And it's so easy for the employer to post a job on Craigslist. I think it's like $9 or something like that, one-time fee, and you can do it in a matter of seconds. Whereas the job posters for these HR departments that use the large Indeed.com and Monster stuff, it is so troublesome to try to post a job to get someone to come through the system. And then with Indeed and some of these other ones, they have algorithms pre-built into it so that they can go through and scan the jobs and say, okay, well, I want someone with a bachelor's degree, I want someone with a master's, I want this. And so they pre-filter out, which is kind of a shame.
Well, that's why you got these huge novels nowadays of these company jobs where they're like, come join us to this innovative blah, 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 and they go and go and go and they go and you're just trying to find the qualifications. Like, where the heck are they?
Yep.
And they're at the bottom of this 5-wheel scroll.
So I would say it's for, if you're looking for a technology job specifically, I still do like Indeed and I do like Craigslist. And you said work source?
I don't know if they're the hottest place for, I don't know if they're the hottest place for specific sectors, but if you're in Bellevue and Redmond, you're likely to see more local jobs in those settings, I would guess, than if you were, in Spokane.
So I've also seen on, I think it was on House. Is that the place? It's like kind of your local trades in different areas. I see a lot of trades also still post their open job recs on Craigslist. So that seems to be a pretty popular site also.
So that probably doesn't answer her question, but there you have a direction.
You have a direction. So if you're looking for a technology job, then maybe Indeed and Craigslist. If you're looking for a local job in the Pacific Northwest, then WorkSource. If you want to try to play job roulette, then you can go to the big boards. I've also seen Dice. I don't know if Dice is owned by also Monster, one of those algorithms. I've seen some stuff with that too.
There's so many of these things out there, it's not even funny.
Whatever happened to the old version where you used to look?
They still have those
newspaper jobs.
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah, they're online, but you can go to the local paper online, and they'll have a jobs.
Well, that's that. Too. There you go. That's a great place to look too. Okay. All right. Do you have somebody else there, David?
Yes, I do. As a matter of fact, we have Helen on the line, and the subject of her question has to do with malware. Helen, go right ahead.
My name is Helen, and I was wondering what types of malware I should be worried about.
All of them.
Oh, boy. What types of malware should... There's a couple that are the top malware, but essentially malware is anything that comes on your computer that is not supposed to be there, that takes over operational control of that. So one of the big ones right now is called the CLOP ransomware.
The CLOP?
C-L-O-P.
CLOP
ransomware. And essentially what this does is this comes on into Windows-based PC. So, the whole Windows and Mac thing, right? So you're saying, well, if I have a Mac, I'm secure. I don't have to worry about malware. That's not true. But at least this malware specifically attacks Windows systems. And what CLOP does is it goes on in and it disables all of the applications within the Windows environments, like the antivirus, Windows Defender, Microsoft Security Essentials. So it stops all of those services. Because if you have admin access of the local machine, you can stop those services. So the first thing it does, disables all the warning signs as first attack. The second attack, essentially what it does, is now it then targets all of the documents to essentially change those extensions of the documents to a malware extension and then encrypts them. So it goes on in first, disables all of the securities.
How do you get this malware? How do you get the CLOP?
So the CLOP is pretty standard available. It's the $75 to $150 ransomware as a service dark web purchase that you can get, and then you can send that to somebody in a phishing email attack.
Meaning it has to be a click. You have to click on something.
And it's an executable file that comes on in that you have to download to your PC itself. So it comes on in and it will say, do you want to download this? And you're probably going to get 2 or 3 warnings from your browser, from your operating system that you shouldn't be downloading it. It could cause harm to your system. So and you just keep on bypassing them, and then you download this file.
All right. So this isn't a PDF executable, right?
This is not. No,
this is a PDF form and it automatically starts doing it.
That is not. But you could also do the fake Windows update, which is called the hidden ransomware. And this is very, very popular right now with Windows 11 that's going on out.
Mm-hmm.
It comes on up and says that we have a security update. The only place you should ever go for a Windows security update is within the operating system itself. Go into the control panel and do system updates, right? It's really simple. You can go to your start bar, type in system updates. You can type in Windows updates. Do it from your operating system itself. You should never have a flashing window on an internet page that says that you need to do a Windows update. When you have that flashing window on any internet page, oh, you need security update, or you need Windows 11 security, don't click on that file because that's not how Microsoft is going to send it to you.
Yeah, that's like pop-ups. They just all kinds of pop-ups.
Yes, so don't click on that because what will end up happening is it will actually trick the readers into installing it is a actual downloadable that is embedded sometimes in a PDF file. So this is more of the PDF files. When you click on it, though, it's going to come up and execute and say, do you want to do a Windows update? You have to hit yes. If you get that window and you see something like that, I always tell people a nice thing to do, just turn off your machine and restart. If you don't know what's going on and there's a bunch of crazy windows happening on your machine, turn it off. Just turn it off right there, hard, cold, turn it off. Restart up and see what happens. Yeah. Because most of the time, those embedded links are not going to repopulate again. And then you're going to know, gee, well, if I had a Windows update, Microsoft is smart enough. If you reboot your machine and it's a real update, it will then start updating it at the very end of it. All right. So
they take 20 to 30 minutes out of your life.
That's right. And there's also the Zeus Gameware, which is a big one right now. That is online gaming to speed up your online gaming. So anytime you're playing online gaming and you see something that comes on up and says increase your online speed, don't do that because that's normally a hybrid of the Zeus Game Commander variable that's out there that essentially is not going to improve your internet speed. Your internet comes from Comcast or whichever internet provider you're at whatever certain speed it is. There is no software that makes it go quicker by downloading something.
That's too bad.
Why is that?
Because when you're playing online games, you always have to deal with lag spikes and all this other stuff. It could.
Do you remember the very first online games were card games? You know that?
Yeah.
Playing the hearts and like
Minefield.
Yeah, the online games. And now look at where we're at. All right. Yeah. Is there a couple more? Oh wow. Okay. Another one. Okay. What do you got, David?
Okay. It looks like we have time for one more caller. We have Eric on the line, and he's asking about the subject. The subject is social media. So Eric, go right ahead, please.
How would people feel about an app that would do a social media rating for the individual?
For the individual, a social.
That sounds like a Black Mirror thing.
What's that?
You ever see the Black Mirror on? I think it's called Black Mirror on Netflix.
No, I have not.
Oh, you need to watch that. It's this kind of dystopian sort of stories, and one of them is this social media thing. It's something that China has done actually on their social media, where they do social media ratings for people.
Okay.
And it helps them qualify for certain services. Now, this one on this fictional television show, it could literally change your status, your
status. You know what? There's
status as a human being, and to the point where if you dropped below the high status, people would not talk to you. You would lose opportunities. This China is doing something similar to this.
So you know what? There was a show. What's that Seth MacFarlane knockoff space?
The Orville.
The Orville. So there's an episode on season 1 where they have a social media. I remember when that came on out. I really liked the Orville. I think it's coming back in some reboot or something like that. But they had this social media episode where essentially someone committed suicide because they said some comments, and you could go up to them and you could put like a thumbs down on them, and you'd actually vote on the person itself. And it was so bad that this person ended up like committing suicide because they said something incorrectly. And it was a very
happens
interesting.
all the time anyway. I mean, this is so. What would I say to that? That's a bad idea.
I don't think I'd like a social media app that rates social media interaction.
Influences. Yeah.
You know what they're going to see from me? They're going to see a lot of steaks and a lot of food cooking.
Well, I think this is
TechTime radio
shares. I think we're talking about an app that rates your social media presence.
Oh, okay.
So it tells you where you exist in the social verse, which has, where I could see where this would be something that if you're a marketer you might want to use.
Okay.
To figure out if your marketing is getting out there.
Isn't this kind of like followers, though? If I have a lot of followers on Instagram, is it Insta? They call that the Insta now. I got a lot of followers on Insta. Instagram, that's right.
Instagram.
All right, well, those were, we're already through our time here. We got a bunch of other stuff to do. So hopefully we answered those right questions. For the callers that are on the line, please call back next week. We will have open calls again. This seemed to be pretty successful. So 888-298-KKNW. Mark that right now in your bookmark to call us next week. But when we come on back, speaking of social media, hey, we're going to be talking about our good old buddies, Facebook.
What happened?
You know what? Facebook is going to be making a big announcement because they want to take over the Metaverse. We talked about this a little bit last week. Metaverse, dual universes, but they want to own your social media profile. And they're going to be changing their name and a lot of other crazy information that we're going to be talking about to see if really, is this the best thing for society? And should we really be investing all of our time in Facebook?
I was telling you about the commercials that just aired on, I was watching Hulu.
Yeah.
They started airing commercials yesterday about Facebook's privacy.
And the lady comes on and starts saying about how they do such a great job for privacy.
Well, she's talking in very general terms about how people want to know how their privacy is used in government outlines and things like that. There's really no information, but it's a feel good Facebook commercial.
Do they have some energetic background music as she's talking?
I don't remember if there's music, but she's very calming and it's a very good.
Feel safe with Facebook.
Yeah, okay. It's one of those types.
All right, well, we're going to take a commercial break. When we come on back, we got Facebook, lots more information, and we still have our technology, our tech week. What happened this week in technology?
What happened this week in
Is it This Week in Technology?
Yes, that's what it is. Thank you, David. This Week in Technology. To end our show, too, we're going to get it, too. So let's go to a commercial break here and see you right after that.
You're going to start throwing things.
Hello, my name is Arthur, and my life's work is connecting people with coffee. Story Coffee is a small batch specialty coffee company that uses technology to connect people to each product resource, which allows farmers to unlock their economic freedom. Try our Medium Roast Founder Series coffee, which is an exotic bourbon variety that is smooth, fresh, and elegant at storycoffee.com. That's STORI coffee.com. Today you can get your first bag free when you subscribe at storycoffee.com with code TechTime. That's STORI coffee.com.
Hi, this is Lisa Downs, host of Reigniting You, a new show here on KKNW that explores a variety of topics and timely issues for making mid to late career transitions. I'll be here every Wednesday afternoon at 3 o'clock bringing you guest interviews, career transition advice, and great stories to guide you to what's next in your career and life. Gain a renewed sense of purpose for your next phase with a positive, forward-looking approach. Get ready to be re-energized, recharged, and reignited Wednesdays at 3 o'clock. All
right, Mike, before the break, we had a real interesting question regarding social media that we talked about.
Social media, love it.
All right. So remember we had the founder of Checkmark on. You remember that? They came on and they did a big deal, and I was a part of Checkmark as a part of a little launch company. And then all of a sudden it disappeared.
Where'd it go?
Well, all of a sudden they possibly hired a Facebook employee, and then all of a sudden once you hire any existing, pre-existing, or anybody that's ever worked with the social media company Facebook, and you bring them onto your staff, well, then they immediately send injunctions against your company for stealing their secrets of technology. So how do you ever how do you ever bring in anybody that has ever worked at Facebook? Essentially, that's a red flag if you worked at a social media company.
Corporate skullduggery.
Yeah, you can't do anything. And you know what? Facebook is the villain of the old Microsoft times back in the early, I'd say, 90s. When Microsoft was out, Microsoft's horrible. They're doing this. Now they're on a plateau of everything's good. Apple's kind of on the plateau of it's all good. Google's on the plateau.
Up in China.
That's right. Google's on the plateau of, well, we're not good, but we're not Facebook. And then we have Facebook.
At least we're not Facebook.
So Facebook is announcing that they want to have a metaverse dominance. So what is Facebook's metaverse? And why is the social media giant so focused on it? Facebook will soon have a new name in a whole new focus.
Oh, really?
They're going through a whole branding process.
They're Amwaying themselves, huh?
That's right. It's the Amway. Did they change their name, Amway?
Do you know who Amway is?
No.
You don't?
Well, no, I know they made soap, right?
Yeah, they started as a soap. This is one of the top
multi-level
marketing companies that got in a lot of trouble for pyramid scheming and everything else. Well, they have gone through, I think, a few name changes.
Okay.
And I can't remember what the name. I know I looked it up earlier.
Yeah.
But I can't remember what
it was.
What it was, just like Altacore or something like that. But
some cool name.
Yeah, it's just some way. It's just some rebranding.
Well, earlier this week, the social media giant announced that it will hire 10,000 people in the European Union to build the Metaverse, a brand new version of how you can interact with each other online. But what is the Metaverse? It is actually the idea of having meta, which means beyond, and verse, which means universe, by having virtual reality, which they own a virtual reality headset. Facebook does, right? So they have Oculus Quest. I own the Oculus Quest too. I have the two versions.
That's Facebook stuff?
Yeah, that's Facebook.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, Facebook owns it. Pretty nice device, actually.
Oh, no, I do know that because they put that on the commercial, and I was trying to remember what the little O stands for. So, yeah, there it is.
And
Oculus.
they're trying to take augmented reality, the AR technology, they have bought companies for that, and put them together. This means that you could log into the network on the internet anywhere, wearing your virtual reality equipment to speak, meet, and play with each other online or to have business discussions.
Tron, baby.
So that's right. So the new name of the social media giant is growing. Nobody knows exactly what it is. Essentially, the executives have kept it under wraps, very tight. Mark Zuckerberg is making the move to announce it. When he does it, he'll come on out with some Twitter or some post that he'll put on Facebook.
He's going to tweet stuff about Facebook.
He does do that, though. He does do that. So a few months ago, they launched a new product called the Horizon Workrooms. And Horizon is kind of the rumored name of maybe what this new company is called.
Okay.
It's Horizon. So they released Horizon Workrooms, a virtual reality meeting service where people use headsets to meet in an online space just like you're in your real office. Why go to your office when you can work from home and put on your VR set and interact with your individuals as if you're there?
Yeah, why go to the office and
socialize
and use a virtual reality headset when you got Zoom?
That's okay. Well, all right. So then after this, the social media company has essentially, we talked about this. They have the Ray-Ban Stories, which are the Ray-Ban glasses that have 2 cameras and a microphone that allows you to speak and have a voice assistant in your ear. Facebook co-founder Mark Zuckerberg has described the metaverse as a place where rather than instead of simply viewing content, you're fully engaged in it.
Oh, boy, that sounds provocative.
He used the example of watching a concert video on a smartphone is so outdated technology. Why don't you actually jump into the metaverse so you can feel like you're at the concert itself? Now, let me just tell you.
Yeah, we were talking about that, and I think it was Fortnite has these gatherings where they don't play the actual game. They go and watch concerts and stuff as their avatar.
Yep, we did talk about that. So there have it. The 37-year-old co-founder of Facebook said that he believes the future is all about sitting on a couch and having a hologram interact with you.
Yeah, like Wall-E.
All right. So the idea is that Facebook's vision will be the foundation of this new metaverse where you will be able to have information shared interactively. Now, he says that it won't be necessarily owned by Facebook, but it'll be owned by a community of individuals who will be able to provide feedback to ensure that you have the highest level of secure information and engagement without having big corporate management of what goes on.
Yeah, that's a double meaning, isn't it?
That's what he said.
So you can do whatever you want, and we're not going to be responsible for it.
That's right. There are huge concerns that Facebook and a handful of other Silicon Valley companies could end up dominating this metaverse. And you know what? I don't know if I have a lot of faith that Facebook is the company I want, knowing what I have in my house, at my couch, what's going on. Because in that new Oculus Quest 2, even though I have that information in front of me, there's a whole camera in the very front of the unit to make sure I'm clear when I'm doing my virtual reality stuff. So I'd hate for it to be recording everything in my house and sending it back to Facebook.
Dun.
All right. Well,
there's a lot of conspiracy stuff there.
So there's some information on Facebook Metaverse. Are you secure that you want to have the Metaverse at your house?
No.
No.
I don't. I don't think we need more sitting on the couch.
Facebook, you know what?
We need less sitting on the couch. And that's hard. That's hard for me to say because I like sitting on my couch.
Okay.
I sit in my chair. I get to play games. I work from my chair. So. But the fact of the matter is that anything that gets me out of my house is a good thing.
Yep.
So you just sitting around attending virtual concerts on a VR machine that's taking pictures of my domicile. I'm not real keen on that.
Well, the Metaverse products, they said, Mark Zuckerberg said that it was probably 10 to 15 years until it's fully developed, but they expect to have samples out in the next 2 years. I believe it. I believe it.
I'm sure Amazon is doing that too.
Yeah.
Sony,
are they? But no, they're
Sony.
No, they're too busy knocking off anybody else that's selling something on their product line so that they can create their own.
Well,
That's what
apparently
Amazon
Facebook is doing that too.
I think they are
Yeah.
too. All right, well, we're going to need to take a commercial break. Hopefully, Facebook is still broadcasting our stream. And if not, you can always go to YouTube. We love Google, so youtube.com/TechTime Radio, and we'll be on there, or TechTimeRadio.com. That's right. All right, we'll see you right after this commercial break.
Hey, Mike.
Yeah, what's up?
Hey, are you bored of TV? Like drugs but can't afford them? Or still paying alimony?
Maybe.
All right, read How to See a Man About a Dog, collected writing. It's surreal. It's strange. It's How to See a Man About a Dog. Get your dose of surreal prose and poetry with this dark comedy collection.
Ebook available on Kindle Unlimited. Print copies are available on Amazon, the Book Depository, and more.
That's right. I'm going to go get my ebook on Kindle Unlimited today.
Hey, babe, I hear that you can download a new voice on Siri.
No way.
Yes, it's true. It's a voice that goes, hey, you big hunk. What do you want to do and where do you want to go?
Stop it.
Oh, God. Okay, I'm kidding.
What has tech ever done for our relationships?
We can't talk about that on the radio.
If you want to eavesdrop on juicy conversations that no one is having around all things love, sex, and relationships, join us right here, 1 p.m. on KKNW and wherever you get your podcast.
We look forward to seeing you in the Love Shack.
How to See a Man About a Dog. It combines darkly comic short stories, powerful poems, and pulp fiction prose to create a heartbreaking and hilarious journey readers will not soon forget. Read How to See a Man About a Dog, collected writings, for free with Kindle Unlimited. Ebook available on Kindle, print copies available on Amazon, the Book Depository, and more.
All right. Welcome back to Tech Time with Nathan Mumm. I got Mike Roday here, David Brown behind the board. We have had a lot of subjects to talk about today. We had callers call on in. We talked about Facebook's Metaverse.
Yeah, and if we get kicked off of Facebook, we can go to Trump's new social network.
That's right. The
Truth Social.
Truth Social. You got to make sure you go online to sign up to get their free app when they decide to release it. That's an odd way of doing it. I
wonder if they're going to hire Facebook employees.
Well, you can't, because if you hire a Facebook employee, you're going to be in big trouble. So hopefully they don't do that. All right. Well, we are now going to move into the home stretch of the day of our 2-hour show. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. Again, you can always go to techtimeradio.com and get all the information if you came into the show a little bit later. If you're driving around and all you picked up was the last 10 or 15 minutes, you missed a great 2 hours of Tech Time Radio. You can always find that at techtimeradio.com. Again, that's techtimeradio.com. We have all the episodes there. We have information in our blogs. We have a newsletter you can sign up for with great information that we send out every month. And then you can always hear Mike and myself as there's lots of episodes you can go back through and find out different information. All right.
Find out how much we like whiskey.
And that's right. And we did have a pretty good whiskey today. Our peach pecan whiskey.
Pecan weekend.
If you want to find out about it, go to the first hour. All right, let's start our next segment here. David?
Welcome to This Week in Technology. Brought to you by Elderberry Boost. Visit elderberry-boost.com.
All right, this week
where did you find Wilford Brimley?
Hey, I like that. Right, This Week in Technology. This very traditional radio broadcast. It's kind of like our letters. Okay, here we go. October 22nd, 1938. In a makeshift lab on the second floor of a rental house, Chester Carlson and an assistant, Otto Cornea, successfully invented the process that would lead to the photocopier. Carlson had written 10-22.38 Astoria on a piece of paper that became the history's first words to ever be photocopied. Ironically, Cornea had little faith in the invention, and within a year he quit working for Carlson and willingly gave up his claim for the process. However, Carlson would later gift Cornea 100 shares of the Xerox Corporation, who decided this technology would take off, that would eventually be worth those 100 shares $1 million upon gifting.
Nice.
There you go. October 22nd, 1938, the very first photocopier. You ever remember the Memorax machines or what were the blue machines that you have to go around? I forget what they are.
I can't. The
Vimeo Max. Is that what it is? No, something else. You know what? A reader's going to have to send that to us. What was the blue ink that you'd always put and you go
it's right there, and I can't remember quite.
You know what? David's moving his hand here,
David's giving us
He's saying
salute.
we need to be ending here. So, well, I appreciate you for joining our 2 hours. I am Nathan Mumm. We got Mike Roday here, David Brown behind the board. Remember, technology is your friend.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for joining us on TechTime Radio. We hope that you had a chance to have that moment in technology today. We also have a few other ways to stay connected, including subscribing to our podcast on any podcast service from Apple to Google and everything in between. And also signing up on our YouTube page, where you get to see us live in video. Yep, you can see us chat and have some fun. It's youtube.com/TechTimeRadio, all one word. We hope you enjoyed the show as much as we did making it for you. From all of us at TechTime Radio, remember, Mumm's the word. Have a safe and fantastic week.